That's weird. Usually when I do a Japanese movie with verses in the title, Godzilla's involved somehow. Of course, there is a bit of a Godzilla connection here, since the director went on to make Godzilla Final Wars, and if anyone needed a refresher on that movie...
Gigan! Rise!
In other words, expect this one to be pretty crazy. Versus is a 2000 action, horror, bunch of other things movie from Japanese director Ryuhei Kitamura, who, as I mentioned, not only made Godzilla Final Wars, but also stuff like Midnight Meat Train and the feudal assassin movie Azumi. Simply put, the guy has a cult following, and Versus is arguably his cultiest movie ever. The kind of crazy low-budget flick that seemingly comes out of nowhere and defies easy categorization. And if you're wondering why it's just called Versus, it's probably because there's a whole lot of fighting in it. You know you're in for a weird movie when it starts off talking about portals to the other side, and that people who go through them are given the power of darkness, or something like that. One of these portals is located in Japan in a place called the Forest of Resurrection, where it's said the dead can come back to life. Now this is not to be confused with another famous forest in Japan where people go to... not come back to life. And guess what else this movie begins with? You know, I get the feeling this is gonna be a pretty gory movie. Whoa, what's this? Zombie samurai? Man, I can't tell if I should make a Resident Evil or an Onimusha reference here. One thing's for sure, these zombies seem to operate on cartoon logic. So far, I have no idea what the hell is going on, but the photography and editing is on point for a low-budget movie. And the gore's pretty good too. So after that inexplicable opening, we then cut to the present day where a couple of escaped convicts are running through the woods in order to meet up with some Yakuza members, and you can tell they're convicts because their jumpsuits say Lawbreaker on them. By the way, get a load of the soundtrack here. Yeah, this is an action movie from the early 2000s, so expect a lot of post-Matrix influences here, from the techno soundtrack to the fashion. Then again, the Matrix was heavily influenced by Asian cinema, so fair's fair, I guess. So here's our Yakuza members, my favorite of which has gotta be this one guy, who between his suit and his wacky mannerisms almost seems like a lost Japanese Batman villain.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, I see. Then perhaps I should give you a rest. For eternity.
Seriously, look at him. It's like he can't decide if he wants to hold his gun straight or sideways. I don't know what this meeting's about, but I do know they picked a bad place to hold it in.
We better get out of here quick. A forest to the southwest is an ominous feng shui sign, you know.
Okay, so, I don't know, move a couch or something and fix it. And looks like they brought another unexpected guest.
So what's the deal with this girl?
I don't know what the deal is with any of you. By the way, none of these characters have names. Even going to IMDb, all you get is descriptions. As far as the plot goes, the one prisoner gets upset they're holding the girl hostage and demands they let her go.
So what are you gonna do, tough guy?
There's a face that says, oh shit, he's actually a tough guy. Oh, and if you're wondering why this place is called the Forest of Resurrection... That's right, we got some zombie Yakuza now. Well, you know the rules, shoot him in the head. Okay, I guess that doesn't work here. Alright, try shooting him a shitload of times in the torso then, maybe that'll work. Alright, apparently that last torso shot was what really made the difference. I think I'm starting to get the logic of this movie. Shooting regular people in the head works, then when they come back as a zombie, just shoot them everywhere else to kill them again. This guy's got the right idea. Time to get the hell out of here.
I don't get it.
Neither do I, but... hey, I'll go along with it. You know, maybe meeting in the Forest of Resurrection was a bad idea. They should have gone to the Forest of You Didn't See Nothing. In addition to not having names, don't expect a ton of backstory on these characters either.
So, why were you in jail anyway?
Shut up. let's go.
Look, sweetheart, you're not gonna get any answers here. It's best to just go along for the ride. One of the benefits of being in a forest full of dead people, you can exchange your prison jumpsuit for some stylish new threads.
What are you doing?
Oh, trying out different poses to see what looks best for the poster, obviously. Not to mention he's now ready for some martial arts fights with the Yakuza. But not before he knocks the girl out first. Alright, I mentioned the Matrix influence earlier, but over-the-top martial arts fights did originate in Asia first, and this movie has some really good fight choreography on what was probably the catering budget for the Matrix. And here's something the Matrix didn't have: zombies.
They were definitely dead, but they came back to life.
Yeah, so what?
Which are apparently not a big deal in this movie's universe. He also mentions that the Yakuza have buried a bunch of their victims in this forest, but I'm sure that's not a big deal. Oops, never mind. When you know how some people get upset when movies have running zombies? Well, guess what? This one has shooting zombies. Well, that's what these Yakuza get for burying all these guys with their weapons. They should have known something like this could happen. Also, nice of the zombies to wait until the Yakuza were back in the forest to resurrect. The guys at the beginning got up right away. You know what? I don't even know what I'm nitpicking for. The name of this place isn't the Forest of Logic, and as long as it leads to more kick-ass fight scenes, who cares? By the way, apparently Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima has a cameo as one of the zombies, although I'm really not sure which one, so if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. I should also mention that in addition to The Matrix, there's also a very strong Sam Raimi influence here. Seriously, if they made Evil Dead 4 in the early 2000s and went back to a lower budget, it might have looked a little bit like this. Ted Raimi could have even played the sniveling Yakuza guy who keeps running away. Anyway, I still have no idea what the story is, but apparently the Yakuza are supposed to keep prisoner guy alive. For some reason.
This is getting pretty complicated, isn't it?
It's more just weird and vague. I wouldn't really call it complicated. And just because I'm not sure what the plot is, that doesn't mean it can't still take some turns.
You see, he's gonna die. And I'll be in charge from now on. It's all been carefully planned. He's coming to be killed.
Yeah, bet you didn't know that was the plan all along. Or what the old plan was either. Anyway, while our hero manages to rescue the girl from that one Yakuza guy, it's about time this movie got some more cannon fodder. Characters. We get these two bumbling cops that I guess were transporting the prisoners earlier. All I do know is this one guy did not get fitted well for his suit.
Don't worry. Tracking people is what I do. I was raised in Yellowstone National Park in Canada.
Hey, makes about as much sense as anything else here, so sure. Oh, and we get some more Yakuza members too.
Aren't you folks a little late?
I don't know, are they? I don't even know their names, let alone whether they're punctual or not. And apparently I'm not alone in having no idea who anybody is.
Who the hell are you? How did you get here?
Can't remember.
See, even the characters have no idea who they are.
What about you? Why were you in prison? You don't remember either?
I forget things easily.
Anyway, what were we talking about? We were deciding where to go for lunch or something? And whoa, something really weird must be going on now. The color temperature of the whole forest just changed.
When do you get here? Just now.
This guy is, the man, the Yakuza's leader, and he is not happy they lost prisoner guy and the girl.
Your life is over now.
Now that there's a bluish-green tint, things are getting extra Matrixy. Of course, the Sam Raimi influence is still there, too. Okay, that part with the shotgun I can definitely see happening in a Raimi film. Well, okay, maybe not so much this part, though. Anyway, remember those two cops from earlier?
We've had a little accident.
Are you all right, officer?
Yeah, you have the right to remain dead as shit, bitch. And apparently cops in Japan pack some serious heat. Is this guy going dinosaur hunting later or something? Jeez, I have so many questions. And so does this guy.
Who the hell is he? And who the hell are you? What does any of this have to do with me?
Alright, hang on. I'll ask what the plot is, okay? As far as that goes, she mentioned something about him and the man being destined to fight, although so far it seems like he's destined to fight pretty much everyone in this movie. Not that I'm complaining, of course. Most of the fight scenes in this movie are pretty kick-ass. I mean, how many martial arts movies can you name with a techno-goth zombie? Alright, now that he's taken care of, time to make this movie extra early 2000s. Okay, that's pretty funny. And apparently this guy doesn't like those sunglasses either. One perfect shot. I've already mentioned Sam Raimi a bunch of times, but there's also a bit of an early Peter Jackson movie feel here too, with all the outrageous splatter humor. The main difference is that if Peter Jackson did make this, the plot would be about the Yakuza selling corpses to a fast food chain to use in their burgers, which end up turning people into zombies, instead of whatever the plot of this one is.
Tell me what's going on.
Yes, please! So turns out Prisoner Guy and the man are reincarnations of the people we saw in ancient Japan at the beginning, and the man wants to sacrifice the girl so he can open the portal located in the forest in order to obtain the power of darkness, or something like that, I don't know.
You need 2 keys to open the gate to the world of darkness. One is a human sacrifice, and the other key is...
Another martial arts fight? Yep, looks like it. Unlike his other fights, though, our hero doesn't win this time.
I'd rather die than live with you.
Ooh, very poor choice of words.
So die.
I'm sure he'll be back. I mean, he is in the Forest of Resurrection. Turns out the forest isn't what brings him back, though. It's the girl who gives him some of her blood before getting nabbed by one of the zombie Yakuza. Jeez, the guy's even wackier as a zombie. Well, Ash Williams lost a hand, this guy lost an eye. And the color temperature's getting really wacky now. Makes sense. Meanwhile, villain guy is preparing to sacrifice girl.
That man could never save you. You're finished with your role in this.
And once again, if anyone forgot what that role is, it's the girl. Oh, and it's also revealed that he doesn't actually need to sacrifice the girl to open the gate, and he wants to use Hero Guy's blood to do it, or something. Again, the plot details aren't that important. Fortunately, Hero Guy comes along to rescue her, and this time he's got a sword that's also a knife. That's almost as cool as having a gun that's also a smaller gun. Oh, and he's got some badass one-liners too.
Don't touch my girl, you fucking asshole.
Alright, listen whoever you are, you better let what's-her-face go, or else my name isn't whatever it is. Of course he's gotta get through all these other Yakuza goons first, but they shouldn't be a problem. See? Told you.
Don't move.
Oh yeah, right, these characters. I kinda forgot they were in this movie. And just when you thought this movie couldn't come up with more excuses for fight scenes...
So you're a fighter. I can smell it.
Okay, sure, works for me. I'm not really sure how this one lady managed to lose this fight, but the other guy gets away after stealing a gun and beating the others in an overacting contest.
It's not my fault!
All his years of training at the Nicolas Cage dojo finally paid off. Meanwhile, bad guy dude is busy preparing his own anime gunblade thingy. Well, that and his cool poses. By the way, have I mentioned this movie has a bit of a Sam Raimi influence yet? just a little, just a smidge of an influence there. I would say this is like a Japanese Evil Dead, but there's actually another movie that can claim that title. Also, whereas one of the Evil Dead films would have been over by now, there's still 20 minutes left. Yeah, one of my biggest complaints here is this movie clocks in at a full 2 hours, and towards the end, all of the forest fight scenes and talk about portals and destiny starts to get a little repetitive. Movies like this are usually better when they clock in at around 90 minutes. But hey, I guess they still have some more characters they need to kill off.
You'll never hit me with a bullet that slow. My reflexes are 500 times faster than Mike Tyson's!
Yeah, Mike Tyson when he fought Jake Paul, maybe. Okay, I think that's all of the peripheral characters. Now it's time for Hero Guy and Villain Guy to engage in the final battle for... resurrection, power, darkness. You know what? I'm still not really sure what these guys are doing, but the point is they're fighting now. Also, while most of the fight choreography in this movie has been pretty awesome, for some reason this last sword fight goes into annoying shaky cam mode. And I have another question. Why are these guys sword fighting? Don't they both have guns? There, that's more like it. Uh-oh, looks like Villain Guy's managed to get the upper hand.
No matter how strong you get, you'll never beat me. I'm the one the darkness has chosen.
Yeah, blah blah blah, portals, destiny. Come on, let's finish this. The credits should have started 10 minutes ago. I really hate it when I'm enjoying a movie and then it makes the mistake of going on for too long. What's even weirder is that there's another version of the movie called Ultimate Versus, which is actually 10 minutes longer. I don't know if this movie needed its own Snyder cut. There's enough slow-mo shots already. Alright, this guy wants to open a portal to hell? Send him to hell already. Decapitation! Alright, you managed to stop the bad guy from doing whatever it was he was gonna do, and you rescued the girl. Now that they're safe, these two can finally get to know each other better. Maybe they should start with some names.
You were resurrected because of this forest. If you leave this place, you might die.
Yeah, plus getting a permit to film anywhere else would increase the budget, so better stay put for now. Oh, wait a second, looks like I spoke too soon. The hell? Is this the post-apocalyptic ending to Army of Darkness now?
No! I slept too long!
Oh, and I guess now the good guy's actually the bad guy and the bad guy's the good guy? Maybe?
I should have been on your side.
There's no longer anything left to destroy in this world. Take me to the other side, quick.
Okay, fellas, I know your battle is supposed to continue for eternity, but that doesn't mean this movie has to. So could we, wrap it up, please? Apparently the reason for the open ending is that Kitamura wanted to do a sequel, and there's of course been talk of an American remake for years, but as of 2025, neither one of those has happened yet. I can see why this movie got a cult following in the West. It's stylish and extremely well made considering the low budget, and Kitamura's talent as well as his love for gonzo splatter flicks made by guys like Sam Raimi and Peter Jackson is readily apparent. If this movie were around 90 minutes, it would be every bit the cult classic its biggest fans make it out to be. But at 2 full hours, it's a little too long for my taste. When your only location is the middle of the woods, it's best to keep your movie on the shorter side. Still though, the fight scenes and gore effects are better than a lot of movies with 100 times the budget, and it expertly blends action, horror, and what feels like a dozen other genres. So if you're a fan of crazy foreign flicks, you should definitely still see it. Just don't expect to understand 100% of what's going on. And hey, if you're an aspiring filmmaker but you're having a hard time coming up with names for your characters, this movie proves you don't need any. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
I had to wait 500 years for that girl to reincarnate. It sucked.